Hello YouTube, this is Forza Potenza and welcome to the second episode of the Forza Motorsprt 4 Handling Challenge. This week we are doing modern classics in rally car form, and my first vehicle on this is the Toyota Celica from 1994. This goes up to S672 and I was able to do this car on the first attempt. All deliveries, by the way, for these are available on storefront. I can't remember the users who made them, sorry about that. But this car is absolutely incredible at this. I was really surprised how I could do it on the first attempt. I mean, I think, like before, I was happy if I could do it in 4 or 5 attempts with other vehicles, and I've done about 30 or 40 cars before this episode. I have done it in about 5 or 6 attempts at my minimum. I think sometimes I've done it in the first 4, but I think that's the best I've ever got. This is one of the first cars, if not the first car, I've ever got correct on the first go. And you can see now, coming through here, I'm being a bit cautious on this. It could go faster. Oh, excuse me. I have no doubt this could go a lot faster. But this was a good run. And this was a very good first attempt. A very easy car to control. And as you can see from this, it was very enjoyable. There wasn't much of a slide going on, so it was very comfortable to drive. And it isn't the best run, I'll admit. I could probably get it a bit faster, but I'm extremely happy with this lap time. And it's always the first one that doesn't really have a huge mistake in that I will count. And even with the Ford Fiesta one, there's a bit of a spin out thing. But anyway, so we come to the end of this part of the run. Now it's the very easy bits, but this catches out cars with a lot of understeer. Going past the helicopter after coming over for the hut, you can see that was a good line through there. We're able to cut across nice and early, and then we got, it's not even oversteer, it's just absolutely perfect and planted, beautiful into the penultimate corner. And that's very, very nice. I do like the cars to go a bit wider because I need to get the tighter turning, and I won't be able to get it from practically rubbing against the wall. Final corner, through the tyre barrier, and across the line. So the next car for this is the Mitsubishi Evo 8. This car I think is from 2004, and here's just a quick view of it. Beautiful livery, by the way. The guy who made this was incredible. Can't remember his name for the life of me. I just found it and thought it was a nice livery. He probably won't be watching. If he is, I don't know. Anyway, so this car, the first thing I'll say is incredible understeer. I know the reason for this is because the rest of the cars are normally rear-wheel drive. This is four-wheel drive, and it can't be converted to rear-wheel drive, otherwise I would have done so. To be fair, this is probably the best four-wheel drive car there is on the game. For me, it is a very comfortable car to drive around something like this. It can cope with some of the tight bits, and for a four-wheel drive car, it isn't that understeering. But for a car, full stop, considering that this track's mainly made for rear-wheel drive cars, it is a bit understeering. It takes a while to get right, and this is my first attempt. You can see I had that bit of a collision, and I thought I was doing alright, and then I don't think I got turned in for this bit, did I? Yeah, the understeer is a bit unbearable. And yeah, it's that cone I've got very close to, and I think I'm alright. Yeah, I did the cones alright, so I'm trying to keep track of which one it is. But yeah, it's on this run now down here by the hut, and I clipped the hut, and that I could have carried on, but it was going to be a 6-second time penalty, and I wasn't willing to do that. I'd rather just have one clean run rather than having to phase in a 6-second time penalty. I carried on to this point just for the sake of it, and then I was like, well, I'm not counting this run anyway. I've had too many collisions, and I think I just binned it in this. I tried to make it look like it was a normal accident. Not that matters anymore. Anyway, and the understeer caused other issues. Look, this bit you think you can take a lot of speed through where the spin dry should be. Like I can normally get that to about 40 or 45, but in this car I think I can do 50, and then it understeers. I was alright through then, the exit speed was good, and that was very close to the wall, but that didn't set me up well for this, and yeah, I lost my way on that a bit. And it took me a long time to realise that I've skipped a cone that I shouldn't, and that's when I realised. And now this is like a very simple mistake, I believe, on this one. It's I'm doing alright through this bit. It's very stable through that. It's just a bit understeery, and I can't even get it, like, to the premium torque. Sometimes I can get it up to the torque and have the wheel spin. Bit of a collision there. Yeah, this one I couldn't get to the torque with the wheel spin because it was four-wheel drive. Which meant that some of the tighter bits are always going to be naturally understeery anyway. And here we are now on the run down to the spin dryer. I'll go through that fine, and then I'll get it a bit wrong on the brakes. I think I clipped that a bit. I remember rumble pads saying I had, but the game said I didn't, and now I've clipped the cones anyway. But this one is one of the longer ones since Fiesta, but it's nowhere near as long as Fiesta to set a good time. And I think this was my last accident, this one. Well, the Jonian. Eventually I did get a timing. It took about 8 or 10 minutes. A lot of the cars taking about 5 or 6 minutes. Didn't need that. 8 or 10 minutes is not exactly a long time, considering I spent most of my time with the Ford Fiesta trying to get the run. But there we are, through the figure of 8, and now coming up to the tyre barrier. Coming through that alright. The brakes are insane on this. So I'm alright around the bollards. You can see I'm a bit understeery. And the thing is, it's unsteery, but it's got good acceleration. There's no turbo lag, or very limited turbo lag. This car is absolutely insane. It's such a brilliant car to drive. And you can see I can get it turned in, even like that. Normally I have to take that about 40 miles an hour. I was getting up to 60 on the exit, even with that bit of a turn. Now we're braking into here. I do brake a bit cautiously into there, just to be on the safe side. But I don't really need to be. Get it a bit of a drift on there, and well, not really drift, more of a power slide that tends to be a bit wide. But into this is the bit that this car really struggled with because of the understeer. This is where you don't want to understeer at all. Sorry about the frame rate, by the way, it's going a bit dodgy. But yeah, you don't really want to understeer through there, but it was still alright because it could keep the power and it could keep it constant. Forward drive keeping it in shape rather well. And now coming down to this tyre barrier, being very careful. Well, you have to be a bit careful doing donuts around there. And this is an incredibly quick time. This is a good few seconds quicker at this bit than most of the cars I've ever driven around here. Even some of the top ones that I've done, like Clear V6 I've done quite well on with this. But yeah, so now we're coming down, like cutting through, and now we're on back straight, if you can call it that. Trying to get it turned in, like for the penultimate corner. That's not too bad. I like the cars going a bit wide, so the understeer there doesn't really matter as much. And now coming through here, I do clip the bollard, but I'm not counting it since that was not part of the obstacle on this bit. And they cross the line in a very good time there. So the third and final car for episode 2 of the Forza 4 Handling Challenge is a Subaru Impreza WRX STI. This is the 2005 model. You can tell by the front being a bit different, but this car, the wheel spin is killer in this. It's really bad wheel spin when you try and get it started up, because I've converted it to rear wheel drive. The wheel spin means it's very easy to do little drifts like that, and like this car was far harder to drive than the Mitsubishi Evo, but didn't take as long to get running. And it took me about 4 minutes, and 2 of them were on the actual run itself. As soon as I could get past the first bit and control this on that first part of the figure of 8, I was pretty much set. And yeah, you can see the wheel spin. I'm trying to control it, and each time it still gets to the point of being right on the rev limiter, revving the valves off for a few seconds. And I managed to control it a bit better through there, and then it just crabs sideways a little bit and hits that. But it didn't take very long. On the 4th attempt, I managed to get a good timing with this. As you can see, the wheel spin after start still, but coming into the figure of 8 section, I was very close to a collision there. Just was able to control it as it went a bit sideways. And now through this bit, I let the torque steer, I let the wheel spin sort of crab it round and sort of keep it going as a drift. It worked quite well for me there. And now coming up to the top out, I'm taking it a bit slow because this was my first run that I even got past the first obstacle. But that was the killer part with this. Getting it past the first obstacle was evil, and it took me 3 attempts really. but that was very close by the hook there, but not to the ballad. But yeah, this was a very good run. And here we come now through this little tight section. I got the line a little bit wrong, so I had to go a bit slower. I almost hit the wall there, but I didn't do too badly from that, it's fair to say. And coming into the braking zone, being a bit cautious, I got the speed on it and coming out. Bit of a drift to try to turn it around. And now trying to be careful to avoid a drift, and I almost did too much there. And this slalom, it was actually quite good at. I was able to get quite close, I had a lot of confidence in the car, I wasn't going too wide, keeping it nice and tidy through here. For the last one, I do try and get a bit of power through that, and there you can see, now powering down towards the hut again. You have to be very careful not to hit the bollard. That was very close to the actual hut itself, and now trying to do that, I thought that was going to go catastrophically wrong, like with the Ford Fiesta. Kept it controlled, just about controlled the drift, almost hit the tyre, almost overspun it. But that was alright through there. And now you can see through the first corner, trying to be a bit careful, but that's very good. Very tight line, and it worked very well because through this second part, onto the back straight, I'm alright. I have a bit of drift, and it affects my top speed a little bit, but not too much. You're never going to get like max out on this part. You're always going to be constantly accelerating, even in some cars that use all their acceleration extremely quickly. Through the final couple of corners, I hit this bollard again, but like I said before, it's only the actual tyre barriers I'm worried about there. A bit of a drift there, couldn't control it, and across the line in a very respectable time, I believe. So here is the leaderboard after episode 2. The Mitsubishi Evo 4 completed it in a time of 2:04.348, which is an absolutely incredible time around here. The 1994 Toyota Celica done it in 2:14.348, which puts it third on the leaderboard. That's a good time, I think. It's not the worst, it's not the best, but it's a very solid time. And you can see there the Subaru Impreza was only a couple of tenths off that. Very close between those two. And yeah, I think I got a bit wrong on there, sorry, quick correction. It's 2:14.098, not 2:14.348 for the Toyota Celica. It doesn't affect its position though. So thank you for watching this video. This has been Forza Potenza. Bye.